Apparently, we're all skint, we keep getting told. This car's going out. I'm going to take you on the little journey with me as we deliver it to its new owner, and I'll explain exactly how we've managed to do the deal. However, I just wanted to show you it because it's a bit special, isn't it? I was hoping desperately to be able to do a review on this car at some point. However, unfortunately, we've just not had the weather all the time. These cars, I think, are a missed opportunity because I think they photograph, personally, rather badly. And I think it kind of makes sense when I explain why they're photographed badly. So when you think about McLaren, you probably go straight to something like a 720 or a 750 or a 675 or a 650 or all these different numbers. They're very sexy names, McLarens. However, the GTS isn't something that springs to mind. Now, this car was originally made on the 570. So you had the 570S and the 570 GT. The GT being the softer, more supple brother. So better for grand touring, hence the name. Now, apparently, I bought a Tesla off a bloke recently who used to work at McLaren, and he said the reason the GT was developed is because there was one of the senior guys who used to work there who didn't like driving back and forth from work in these kind of race cars, so they developed a GT for him. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's a story that I heard. Now, I have driven this car, obviously, but I'm going to take you out on it today as well so you can sort of get a bit of a feel for it. But just look at it. Really well optioned, but a really weird situation with these as well. So there are 3 different option packs on these cars. This has got all of them, and I'll read them out to you now. So you've got the Lux pack, the Practicality pack, and the Premium pack. Now, there is a weird thing about these packs. So Lux pack is essentially electric seats and electric steering column. Practicality pack is your parking sensors, rear view camera, folding mirrors. And then you've got the Premium pack, which is your Bowers & Wilkins sound system, and again, a couple of other bits. You can then option a sports exhaust, which this has got, and also a pan roof. So it's got everything. Now, the weird thing about the packs is they're free. So these 3 packs, when you option them from McLaren, you don't have to pay for them. So the only real options that you pay for outside of it is you can get black wheels, which I think would look rubbish on this. I really like the silver wheels. 20s at the front, 21s at the rear. And then you can option different paint and you can option the exhaust as well. That's pretty much it, cost options wise. This has got everything besides the black wheels. And I think it looks beautiful for not having the obvious black wheels and stealth look on it. Now, performance wise, it's got carbon ceramics on it as standard. That used to be an option on the old 570 GTs, and it is 612 horsepower from a V8 twin turbo engine, which is in basically every McLaren except for the Artura, however you pronounce it, which is a V6. And I think it's because of the Artura, or however you pronounce it, that this car got forgotten, because that was like the sort of baby one, and originally the sort of GT was kind of falling into this camp, but actually, when we get out on the road, you'll understand it's so nice to drive. Now, I think these cars photograph terribly, and the reason for that is because they're not stupidly low at the front. It's also got nose lift on it as well, so speed bumps, etc. are really easy to navigate. However, I think it looks odd on photographs, but hopefully when you're looking at it now in the flesh, you understand just how glorious it is. These, in particular, it's just special. So you've got your beautiful Bowers & Wilkins speakers in there. It feels really premium, and you also feel like, because you're getting over this carbon tub, like you're getting into a proper race car, but at the same time it's somehow comfortable. Other things that I really like these grills, this sort of like honeycomb grills on the back, and then it's the same, it's sort of replicated along this back strip, and I love the LED lights on it as well. It's just a very, very beautiful car. 160 odd thousand pounds new. I think they were 163 list, and it's around about 140. Now, it's 1 year old, still in main dealer warranty, just been to McLaren, got all of the bits done on it, it's serviced up to date. It's perfect, which is why we've sold it. Now, the reason the GTs have got the name GT is because they're meant to be a practical car, and the most random thing on the planet is you actually have a boot on a supercar. So the engine is in there, it's just hidden underneath here, and you've actually genuinely got room for luggage. Now, we're off on a road trip soon. We're going to Spain, which is why there's a rotten old exhaust in the corner over there, because that's come off my R8. However, this would be a perfect car to do a road trip in. You've got space in the front at the front, which I'll show you. So you've got plenty of space in here to get at least a decent sized sort of carry case or whatever, and then you've got room in the back as well. It's really well thought out, this car. McLaren absolutely know what they're doing, and they've built something that is a proper GT car. Okay, try and get in this without looking like an old man. Oh. Now, with this car being a year old, it smells amazing in here. I love this as well, these little details. with the lighting on here. Now, the infotainment system, if I just fire it on, is the one thing that I think kind of lets it down a bit. That exhaust sounds amazing, by the way. It just feels a little bit sort of old-fashioned, and I don't know, it's a bit slow, if that makes sense. I also, as anybody in the right mind would do, hate having your climate control as a touchscreen. However, other than that, kind of everything's where you'd expect it to be. Your nose lift is an easy place to find, which is just on a lever down here. These beautiful flappy paddles, which are really cool because when you're changing gear, they kind of, if you go up a gear, it pushes that one back, so. And it sounds really nice. Weird thing I noticed about it as well is the fans kick in really early, so if you'd heard this, we've literally just fired this car up, and now the fans are already kicking in, because it is a proper performance car, just trying to be embodied in this sort of GT shell. It's a bit special. Now I got told by Ben, who I got this car from, that is the button that you need to have on all the time, because that turns it into a McLaren. You can hear the exhaust changing straight away. Now we are in neutral before I rev it. It revs up really quickly, so I've had the pleasure, just turn it off. I've had the pleasure of giving this, I won't say everything, but most of what it's got, and it just seems to rev for days, and the power band comes in really early, so it's 600 horsepower, but you start to get most of the torque from around about 3,000 RPM, so you get all of it basically straight away. It's properly special, this car. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get it out and I'm going to drive it over to a place in Ripon, which is where we're going to be dropping this car off, because I have indeed done a deal on the car and I'd like to meet the person that is buying it from me. I think you'll like this. What I've noticed that's a bit annoying about this is the seat goes back and then I don't know how to get it forward again, sort of automatically. Anyway, now it has actually got soft closed doors, which seems a bit bizarre on a supercar. Hello. Exhaust mode on, into drive, parking brake off, and we are off. Nose lift on to get out of the showroom. Probably doesn't need it, but I just don't really want to break this just before we sell it. Oh yes, appointment of McLaren. Nose lift back down. The nose lift activates in 4 seconds. Which is impressive trivia for you today, isn't it? And off we go. Yeah, we've got a Dylan in the way. So the first thing I need to comment about in this car is the visibility is surprisingly excellent. I have been in some fairly pokey cars in the past and you can't see anything out the back. I can see Alex in his horrible little Hyundai perfectly clearly. It's comfortable, it feels refined. So the first day I drove this, I'd driven an RS6 the day before. This is gonna sound a little bit bizarre. I think it's as comfortable, genuinely. Like, sure, there's undulations in the road and there's lumps and bumps. We are in Britain after all, and we don't spend any money on the roads anymore, but it just feels genuinely comfortable. It feels special, and you feel like you're not having your teeth rattled out. Speed bump. Not a problem. Right, as we're heading out of Bingley, I'm just going to explain to you exactly what I'm doing here. So today is not a big money-making day for me, because this car is the sort of car you'd expect to make a huge amount of money on. It's a supercar after all. However, the person that I'm selling it to is also a car dealer. What I've essentially done is I've brokered this supercar out of the dealership. Now, why have I done that? Well, this car came in on sale or return from a friend. We've only had it in for a couple of weeks or so. However, I am going to be going away for a week or so. He is fairly keen to sell the car. So we have got a seller who is encouraged to sell, which is a great position to be in. Now, the chap you're going to meet in a moment owns a dealership and he is working his way into some fairly punchy stuff. So he is working into higher and higher price cars and he's starting to enter into the supercar market. Now, from his point of view, buying a car that's still in main dealer warranty warrants paying proper money for it, and he gets that. So he has called me up, seen the car online, also seen us on YouTube as well, and said, look, this is who we are, this is what we're about. We've been going for a couple of years and we are slowly but surely building our portfolio, and he's got some really nice stuff in there as it stands, to be fair, but he wants a hero car in his showroom. Here we go. Most dealers would probably want a stronger margin than this guy's wanting across it. However, in view of the fact that he's trying to build his brand, etc., he's prepared to take a smaller margin across the car. Now, the guy that I'm selling it for has had to move his way to reduce what he's wanting to get back on the car, and essentially what we've ended up doing is ended up getting to a position where both parties wanted a little bit more out of the deal, which is exactly what a good deal looks like. Now, what am I going to get out of it? The square root of sod all in relation to money, because the guy that's selling it is basically at breaking point, the guy that's buying it is basically at breaking point. But what I'm going to get out of this is I'm going to get a new relationship with a dealer that's starting to get involved in this sort of stuff, and this is exactly the sort of stuff that we've started to broker through Carmora. And I think sometimes in business, the deal doesn't always have to pay financially. Building relationships is just as important. Also, he has got the sort of stuff that I might want to market in my dealership. So if he's working his way into this more expensive cars, it means by default the less expensive cars that come in on part exchange he's probably going to want to get rid of. He's already had this conversation with me. So that is a great opportunity for me for getting the sort of stock in that I need at my dealership. Synergy. It's effortless in its power. So I am now on one of my favourite roads, which is ironically, because of the way we're going today, we're going to be going basically past where I live. So this is my route home. I know this road like the back of my hand. Because I know this road, I also know the undulations and the bumps, which means I can give a proper review as to how this feels and not be too surprised. That's normally a big bump I've just gone over there. It does feel incredibly supple. Put it in active mode. That should. Oh yeah, that's made a difference. Now, as I drive through the centre of Otley, I can't help but feel like I'm living in the world of make-believe, driving £140,000 worth of McLaren. And if you too want to live in the world of make-believe, you could win a car for a quid. Yes, we're a small channel and we are raffling off this BMW E46 330 Ci. It is indeed, I think, a modern classic, a forgotten car, and going to be a bit of an icon. Beautiful car, topaz blue metallic. Because we're a small channel, your chances of winning this are probably far greater than these raffle competitions, and any proceeds really help us with the content that we make on the channel. Also, as usual, we'll be making a charity donation on the back of this raffle, and this time round we're going to be making a donation to Sue Ryder, which is a charity which helps with people with their end-of-life care. It's an incredibly special charity, and it's very close to a particular subscriber's heart who sadly lost his wife earlier on this year and wanted to reach out and ask if we could do something. So the link is in the description below. There's a QR code there if you want to get involved. As I say, quid a ticket. It could change your summer. Maybe not your life, but definitely your summer. Anyway, back to the drive. Oh, I'm dying to get the pedal down a bit. Fuel lights come on. Trade cars for you, mate. Ain't coming with a full tank, I'll tell you that much. Still 35 mile range, we've got 10 miles to go, so at least we're not bringing it in flashing, because that would upset him. It just wants to bite your head off. You can feel it at the back end. So it's in sport mode at the moment, so it's giving me all of the power and all of the noise, which is thrilling. I was a little bit disappointed at first with the exhaust sound. It sounded muted, but as soon as you start to build that boost and up through the revs, it does sound good. I love that little clicking noise that you get when you're downshifting, upshifting it as well. But you can feel it sort of fighting the back end. I think we're in some pretty bad conditions here to be trying to road test this, because it is, what's the temperature outside? 12 degrees, so it's not a cold road, but we're still early in the morning, and it does feel a little bit slippy out there. So I'll try and get the hammer down as much as I can, but the last thing I want to do is bin this car out of all the cars I've been close to binning. So this is going to be an interesting test for this car. So if you know this road, you'll know there's a couple of fairly sharp corners here, so let's just see. And the road is not pleasant. Turns in really well, really well. Get on the power quite nicely as well. Oh, the turning on it is beautiful. Now, considering this is a GT car, I wasn't expecting it to feel that sort of planted going into bends. Oh, it's fantastic. That gearbox is great as well. It's a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. I would like second, please. There you go, sir. Like third, please. Have it as you like it, sir. Second into there, clip the apex, feather it out, third, fourth. Oh, definitely into the low fuel light now, that's for sure. It's like like it throws you into the next gear. So normally with a dual clutch transmission, you feel like a thud going into the next one. This almost feels like, and I don't know whether or not I'm making this up in my head, but it loads the boost and sort of throws you into the next gear. Love that, by the way, just touched it. How arousing. This is up there with a good day in the office, and I'm hoping that we do more and more of this kind of tradey trade stuff. And you know, obviously this is a deal to build a relationship rather than a deal to make money, but we are making money trading cars. And I mean, if this could be my day job, what are you doing today, darling? You got anything on? Yeah, picking an Aventador up from Surrey, and I've got to drive it up to Chelsea or down. Bad at geography, might have to work on that. So when you're buying or you're selling, even if you're trading a car trade to trade, you always need to make sure that you've checked it out properly. Now, obviously, we've mentioned it before, we tend to use vehicle score when we're looking at our cars and whether or not they've got any hidden history. So all you need to do is dive on the app or on the web browser, put your registration number in, it will give you a score out of 999, 999 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and that'll give you a bit of an idea as to whether or not you're looking at something that is offering good value for money. And for just a small amount of money, you can do an additional check and see whether or not it's got any outstanding finance, any history you need to know about, crash damage, stolen, all the sort of stuff that you need to know about. Link is in the description below. So we've actually averaged 17 miles to the gallon. We are literally 5 minutes away from his showroom now. And thinking about it, that's actually pretty decent for a car that isn't one of these stupid hybrid things. So it is literally just a V8 engine, granted with a pair of turbo strapped to it. Not that that matters when you're buying a supercar, but I do find it really interesting. Anyway, we're moments away now, so I'd like you to meet the buyer. We are here in rather a dirty McLaren with absolutely no fuel in. I'm going to reverse into a showroom like a proper boss. You'll appreciate that. That'll do, I think. Oh. Good morning.
Mate. How are we doing?
You, sir? I'll leave that open, looks better.
Yeah,
good
matches
to see
the
you.
rest of them, doesn't it?
Yeah, you like your fancy doors.
Got a bit of a thing for scissor doors, haven't we, apparently?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
An easy sell. If you want to sell a car with scissor doors,
yeah,
he's your man.
We are the specialists.
Indeed.
What a thing, eh?
Thank you. Yeah, bit special, mate. Drove
incredible.
Perfectly, as you'd expect, but it's still in main dealer warranty, all the other usual sort of stuff that goes with it.
Yeah.
Just been into McLaren. So it's just had its first year service, all that sort of stuff. So it is
lovely.
Literally.
So she's ready to go.
Retail ready, I think is the term we like to use. Yeah.
Just give her a bit. Oh, look at that colour. That's incredible. But yeah, this is
good.
phenomenal.
I'm glad you like it. I mean, I wasn't bothered. I'd driven it back. It was lovely.
It's.
That's the first time I've seen that paint in the sun. Actually, it's got a lovely fleck in it.
Do you think it's quite? I was looking at them the other day, and I think it's quite Ferrari 430 looking from the front.
Get that?
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Sort of that.
Well, I think so. I was talking about this before I left. In the flesh, incredible car. I think they're difficult to photograph well.
Yeah.
And if you look at a lot of them online, because they are GT and they're a bit raised at the front, you don't get your angle right. I think they look numb. I think.
Yeah.
So the way you photograph your cars, personally, I think that'll put it ahead of everyone else as well. Because a lot of main dealers stick it on a wheel, don't they? Snap, 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 snap.
Yeah, or they sort of cut it out, put it on the background.
Yeah.
And again, videos. You know, Will does a lot for us on YouTube and video walk rounds and
link for the channel below.
Absolutely, and I think that shows the car better from walking around at different angles than just a still image. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So
we should, ironically, we don't do enough of that.
Yeah.
We should think we would. The way that I see what we're doing more of, so obviously got Paul, a business partner with this Carmora side of things, where we're bringing cars into trade from the general public.
Yeah.
And the reason it's going to work well is when you can kind of build these relationships whereby I'm ringing you going, I'm looking at a car here and it's right.
Yeah.
And you're going, okay, it might be a little bit more than I can buy one out of auction for or whatever, but I know it's right.
Yeah.
And I think that is where we're hopefully going to start to build this little bit of a consistency.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you look now, I know you have your opinions on a certain marketing platform for selling.
I can't think which one you're on about.
And
AA Cars, yeah, fantastic product.
Yeah. I have one for buying. You know, there's a particular platform out there for buying. And they're just...
We can say it, Motorway.
Yeah, they're making fortunes for doing nothing.
Yes.
And when you have a problem and you pick the phone up, they do nothing for you.
No, totally agree with that. Yeah.
No disrespect to the customers, but the sellers, but they're all about the seller, and you go, hang on, it's me.
Yeah, if it wasn't for us, there'd be no business here. Yeah.
Talking to you the other day, we share the same morals and kind of thought processes.
Screw everyone and make as much money as possible.
Absolutely.
That's the vibe I was getting, mate.
Just get as rich as we can, as quick as we can.
Exactly. But yeah,
I think the relationship hopefully will, this is the start of.
Fingers crossed, mate. Yeah, exactly. We can do bits and bats, but
start something special.
Oh, getting all excited. Can we have a look around showroom over here?
Please do, yeah, absolutely.
Quick tour, and then I'll take some money off you.
The rule of us in terms of buying is we're all petrol heads.
Yeah, okay.
And if it's a car that we look at and go, oh, like that, then we've got to buy it for stock.
Yes.
You have to have your bread and butter stuff to turn, but we will buy stuff that is different, and we're looking at, I want to own that, so somebody else will.
But we had this discussion the other day, different cells, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Different cells.
It does, and you take a bit of a risk, and if you're prepared to sit on something, I mean, this particular car, S-Cup, I think they made 28 in total.
PPF up to here as well, is it?
Front PPF,
yeah.
It's got the big aero kit and
really
everything else.
Cool.
It's awful to drive.
Oh yeah, I can believe that.
But it's different, it's cool.
What is this?
We've just sold this car actually. I think it was mid-40s.
Lot of car, isn't it?
Great car, and for a track car,
yeah.
Again, you've got to spend a lot of money to get that level of drive, I think. So it won't be the quickest thing around the track, but I drove it, and in terms of how it feels,
yes,
you can hit every apex. It's a proper driver's car.
And you're driving it to the track, and you're driving it home.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
But great thing.
This is the star of the show for me.
This is nicknamed Arthur.
Right. Okay. Nearly called my son Arthur.
So it's a supercharged V8 long wheelbase Daimler.
Has it got a Harman Kardon sound system? Is that actually a thing?
Yeah.
Right,
it's got electric rear seats, heated rear seats. For a car that's 25 years old, nearly 30 years old,
it's quintessential, isn't it?
It's just so cool. But I think this car now is like proper cool.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
For all generations.
Yeah.
You could pull up at Grantley Hall in this.
Yes.
And not feel out of place compared to £200,000 supercars.
It's 10% of the price.
Yeah.
Love it. And then you do horse boxes as well.
Do horse box as well. So that was the original company. I worked for a quite a well-known car company for many years. Ran the horse box side for them. I ended up buying it off them in 2018. So I ran that for a number of years. We do anything from little horse boxes right up to the real big stuff that is £500,000–700,000.
Yeah, we've just been in one.
Which are
what a thing.
Incredible, but hard work. It's very, very hard. You think cars are hard.
Different market.
It's easy compared to equestrian. But again, I've just moved everything now into the car showroom. Set this place up 2 years ago.
Yes.
Brought the horse boxes here because again, I think it works that kind of what I call cross contamination of high net worth individual who's spending £50,000 to £500,000 on a horse box, usually for his wife.
Yes.
Is the kind of guy that would
there's
then
a McLaren here.
There's a McLaren here. Well, if I'm buying that for you, I'm having this for myself. So hopefully that kind of
I get that.
That principle will work. Like I say, hopefully we're going to get into a few more bits like this now, just to
if I get offered stuff,
challenge the big boys and see if we can. I
hope
go
you do.
toe to toe with those. And
And if we get because we get offered cars all the time, obviously we'll vet them. And if they're decent, I'll give you a shout.
We pretty much buy and sell a car a day.
Right. Okay. Sound.
As an average,
so we can supply some of that.
Obviously, I got quite enough money to buy a 25 plate McLaren.
Of those.
Every day, but we're always buying. We'll buy 20–30 cars a month.
Yeah, fair play.
So keep in touch with that.
Speaking of money,
I was hoping you'd forget that, mate.
Incorrect. Happy?
All happy. Yeah, over the moon. Thank you very much.
Done. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Lovely. Hopefully, many more to come.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.